Hey y'all, I'm Lakhia.
And I'm James.
And you are listening to the Message 24 podcast, where each week we're talking about relationships, the growing pains of being a 20-something, and pretty much everything else in between.
Yeah, so join us every Wednesday for our new episodes.
Bye. See you guys then.
Bye-bye. Have a beautiful time.
You ready, sir?
You said what?
I said, are you ready, sir?
I think I'm ready.
You trying to copy me with the pants?
The little cut.
Yeah, you my mini me.
Knee slits.
Well, maybe I'm your mini me today because I got a jacket
Well,
on.
you do have on my jacket today.
Well, I still feel like you my mini me.
At times, it just depends. Like with food, I give you that.
You my mini me, yeah.
Clothing.
Come on, because you always like, what you wearing? And then you try to color coordinate me. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. I get it. I definitely get it.
Now, face routines and like
hair.
Not hair.
Baby, I put you on to the as I am.
Okay.
Come on now. Come on. Keep it cute.
Okay, yes, I will give you the hair.
Yes.
Some things, yes.
Hair, skin routine.
Yep.
Food.
Yep.
Clothes.
No.
You're telling a lot right now.
No.
It's something else that I do that you have inherited as well. I just cannot think of what it is right now. Well, face masks kind of go into skin, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, because I wasn't doing any type of like face scrubs and all that.
Self-care. You inherited self-care. You know what I'm saying? A great woman, a good woman will enhance your life. That's all I'm saying.
I would agree.
That's all I'm saying. And then if you get a good man, he can come in and enhance your life and make it easier. Mini-me. Okay.
I still don't.
You my mini-me for sure. So it's like, it's not even a question at this point. You're my mini-me, definitely.
Anyways.
Okay, anyway. So we can go ahead and get right started. Thank you for tuning in to the Message 24 podcast. So our in the DM for this week, and if this is your first time listening to this amazing podcast, our in the DM is essentially what we will be talking about throughout the podcast. So this is going to be a super fun episode. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
And it's going to be life before social media. The good old days.
It's almost like you can't, it's hard to think about.
It is kind of, it is, but what was one of your favorite things to do before you ever had social media? So this is before MySpace, Facebook, way before Twitter.
Man,
and
forget
Instagram.
all that. So I love social media now.
Of course. I mean, it has
now a content creator, but before all that mess, like I loved going outside. Like outside was my thing. I would play basketball literally all day. And where I'm from, my parents got me a goal. So me and my brother would be back there, and we had
Y'all had a goal?
Yeah, we had a basketball goal.
Y'all had motorcycles and a goal?
I feel like you knew. I
ain't know about a goal. I knew about the motorcycles. Y'all had a good childhood.
Yeah, we did. I
ain't know about a goal. Okay.
Yeah, so we had a basketball goal, and basically the grass in that area, we would bounce the ball so much to where the grass turned into sand. So it was like a hard sand where we could actually, bounce the ball.
Y'all done killed the grass.
Good. Yes, basically we killed the grass, but for good reason. So I loved being outside. That was my thing. Like I didn't care about a freaking Facebook post or social media at all. Like I just wanted to have a good time. And outside of that, when I couldn't be outdoors, second thing was being indoors with video games. So I think you knew that too.
I did.
I loved WWE series. So if you like watching wrestling and all that was my game. We play the tables, ladders, and chairs. Like we would get busy.
Tables, ladders, and chairs.
Yeah, so
chutes and ladders.
Tables, ladders, and chairs. That's a type of match. So that means you could hit people with literal tables.
Oh, ladders. You talking about wrestling?
Yeah,
wrestling.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I used to, I had that championship belt, so you feel me? I was watching wrestling too, but I ain't never played no shoots and what you said?
It's the WWE. It's the game, the video game version of wrestling.
Oh yeah, no, I ain't have that. I ain't had it, but I did have a championship belt.
Yeah, so those were the good times. And outside of wrestling, because that sounds kind of violent.
You think?
That. Yeah, we was hitting. Me and my brother was hitting each other with anything we could find underneath that ring.
I'm shocked neither one of y'all got a concussion.
Like from playing
Yes.
video games so long?
No, not playing video games so long, but from the violent stuff you learn from video games. Then
oh yeah, because we were definitely trying a lot of that stuff.
Video games had your mind gone.
Well, you could do some of that stuff and
jumping that motorcycle off that.
That's totally okay. That was a
Them
video game.
video games had y'all mind gone.
Well, think about it. If you have like this, and this is why I think the metaverse is gonna be. Let me not get you started on the metaverse,
please.
But, like the virtual reality, like seeing something that somebody is doing, you literally think you can do it, which is. It's pretty powerful.
That's dangerous. I remember that's why parents were upset about GTA, because kids was thinking they could just go. Man, let me tell you something. When I was younger with GTA, I didn't know you was supposed to be on missions and doing certain stuff. Now, mama never bought me GTA, but one of my older cousins had it, and I used to be playing it with them. I didn't know you was supposed to do missions. I just was beating people up and taking their cars and driving around and kicking the shit out of random people. I didn't know you were actually supposed to be doing something. I had no clue.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because there was an incident here recently where it looked like somebody was really playing GTA. And it was in the city that
you talking about in the Charlotte?
Living in, yes. Like he was,
and I was in the game.
You were in the.
I was in the game.
Yeah, like.
And he didn't take my shit, but I just remember seeing that truck drive. I was like, why is this truck driving like that? Then I looked up and seen the helicopter. I said, hold on, now something ain't right. Then I seen all the jumps outside. Then you called me talking about be careful. I said, oh, that just passed me.
Yeah, so basically an individual was on the run from the cops, taking cars and running, like, I'm talking like 60, 70 miles per hour into another vehicle, running out like they do on GTA, and like trying to find a person to take another car so they can do something else. And the police is literally chasing them. So that was crazy.
It was real life GTA, and I just was minding my business. I just got off work. I didn't think I thought about it, but when you called me, I was like, oh, that's what that was. Yeah. I knew something was off. So back to things we used to do before social media. So when I was younger, I was outside a lot too, but it was very different from what you were doing. I was not playing basketball, wasn't playing sports. I was always in a ditch. Those of you who do not know what a ditch is like, it's kind of like a water runoff thing. So it prevents flooding a little bit, but I don't know if you're an engineer, so you actually tell me if that's right or wrong, but I do think that's what the ditch was for. Like it was where the water would go when it was raining, but it was constantly water flowing through there all the time. So there were always like crawfish and frogs and turtles and tadpoles. And I used to stay in the ditch like all the time. Right. Always was in the ditch, always catching crawfish, frogs. I done caught a snapping turtle before, like a huge snapping turtle, picked it up and moved it. Like just crazy stuff I used to do. I remember I ate a tadpole. I thought it was a fish and I just swallowed it whole like a dummy. I thought I was on Man vs. Wild or something like that. I was doing stuff like that. And then when I was inside, I actually played video games too. I had a PlayStation 2, and I remember I had the Scooby-Doo game, and I had a SpongeBob game. And then when that Wii came out, I had that Michael Jackson experience, and I was in there getting. But actually, Michael Jackson, that came out around the time where MySpace and Facebook and all of that stuff was popping. So I can't really, I can't say that, but that's one of the things I was doing before I was heavy into social media. I would be in the house playing the Wii with my mama and my sisters. Like we would literally be battling if anybody listening to this won't smoke and Michael Jackson experience, let me know, because I got it for you. Because one thing about me, I'm always hit that gold move and keep it going. That's just me though.
Did you ever play Guitar Hero?
See, I couldn't get into that. I couldn't get into Guitar Hero, or what's that, Dance
Revolution.
Yeah, I couldn't get into that. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't for me. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it. Just wasn't for me. And if you're listening to this, I would really be interested to know, what things did y'all do when you were younger before social media was like law? What did y'all do? You can leave a comment. I'm really interested to know, because everybody, like, we're completely different people than we used to be when we were younger. So yeah. I would like to know. All right, we can keep on moving. So our send or delete, this is your first time listening. Our send or delete is basically where we just chime in and give our opinions on different things. And this week, we are going to be giving our opinion on things that people had to do before social media, before cell phones were super accessible. So we're going to start like early 2000s, work our way into the 90s. Honestly, it might be a little mixed match, but yeah. we will be sure to specify what time period we're at. All right, so where we want to start?
It don't matter, just jump in.
All right, so I think let's start with what... Okay, so let's start with, I guess we can start with the 90s. Okay. So in the 90s, niggas did not have cell phones. They had pagers. Do you know what a pager is?
I do.
Okay. My mom.
My dad had a pager.
She did?
My dad did. Yeah.
Okay. My mama did too. I found her pager. I was younger. I was like, Mama, what is this? She's like, girl, it's a pager. And I'm like, well, what you do with a pager? So basically in the 90s, you didn't have a cell phone. So if you needed to let somebody know something, you would page them a certain number. So I remember my mama told me when her homegirls would be out with guys, they would text each other 911 if something went wrong. So they would know, like, okay, I need to get to wherever this person is at.
Gotcha.
But something that really made me think is, I don't feel safe leaving the house without a cell phone.
Right.
Like, even just going to the grocery store, going to get gas. What if you at the gas station and something happens? You got to try to beep a number on a pager. Like,
you're pretty much screwed. Yeah, I look at like my cell phone. I need that thing for literally everything. Here's the things: keys, cell phone, and wallet. If I don't have those things, I feel naked.
But your cell phone can be all of those. Because, you know, some people got the electronic locks. Yeah, your wallet is on your phone. Your phone does everything. Yeah. Your phone is literally your lifeline. But right. I just can't imagine. Now, some people with money, they had car phones. But not everybody had a car phone.
Yeah.
And I don't think those came until later in the 90s, I think. I was born in 97, so y'all, I really don't know. But
me 98. So.
Yeah. If you had a little bit of change, you had a car phone. But if you didn't have a car phone, you just had a pager. But I was thinking, like, what if you were supposed to be meeting someone and you were running late? You had to either go home, get on a house phone, use a pay phone. I've actually used a payphone before.
Yeah.
They're like completely obsolete now. Like, you won't see a payphone anywhere anymore.
They have like a little bot, isn't it? Like a little.
Yeah, you go in there and it has a phone book in there, and you call somebody, you just put the little money in there. I've actually used one before. I'm grateful that I was able to experience that before they were a thing of the past. I feel like when we have kids and I tell them about a payphone, they're gonna be like,
"What?"
No. Let me tell you something funny. One of my homegirls, she was like a camp counselor or something. And she told the kids that she was born in 1997. And they were like, did you know Martin Luther King? And my fear is that, like, when we have kids and then if they decide to have kids and our great grandkids find out that we were born in the 90s, they're going to be like, were y'all slaves? You know what I'm saying? Because that time just sounds so crazy to them. Like, and I remember asking my grandma, was she a slave? Because she was born in 1946. And this is when I was a chap and I had just learned about slavery. I'm like, Grandma, was she a slave? And she was like, God, slave. when you're a child and you're just learning about something. 1946 sounds crazy.
Well, the cool thing is we like just made it for that time period, because like anyone that was born in the 2000s plus, you're not gonna see 3000 or like a crazy different type of number. Ours is like 19, yeah, and we get to see the 20s.
Y2K. Yeah, so yeah. I just know like the 90s, I feel like the 90s sounds crazy, especially to kids who were born in like 2012.
Right.
I can't even fathom children being born in 2012. Like, yeah. To me, it's crazy. But, okay, so we got off on a little bit of a tangent. So you didn't have a cell phone, you had to have a pager. Something else people did not do is people didn't always take pictures of their food.
That's something that like I have to do now. Camera
eats first.
Yeah, before, because I don't want to dig in and my shit look nasty after.
It's crazy because one in the 90s you couldn't take a picture of it because you know what I'm saying, you didn't have a cell phone. You maybe could have took a picture on a Polaroid, but like who was doing that?
Right.
But even in the early 2000s when people had the flip phones, the Motorola's, the Nokias, people were not taking pictures of their food. I feel like people actually enjoyed what they were eating versus let me show everybody else what I'm eating.
The fancy, luxurious meal that I'm having.
Yeah. And I'm talking junk, but I do it. Like I guess you could say I'm a food content creator. I don't really know if I would call myself that, but I always take a picture or a video of whatever I'm eating, and you mess around trying to get the good video, your food will be cold, and then you're looking stupid.
Yeah. I think, like you said, the people during those times, they wanted to capture the moment. Yeah. So if they could, they would pull out that Polaroid or whatever. If it was like an event, but just like for a casual dinner date,
not doing that.
They were not focused on that. Like they wanted to make, it probably was a lot more about the date and making sure that they could win that girl or that boy over.
Yeah.
In the date. So
I think they also had the right idea because I'm moving into film pictures. I really like, I have a Polaroid camera, so I'm always taking pictures, but I also want a disposable camera. I love having tangible pictures. Like I love being able to have something that I can physically hold and physically touch. And because if your phone breaks, you don't have the opportunity, or you can get on your laptop or your iPad. I'm just saying, I really enjoy being able to have physical things. Like I grew up with my family having scrapbooks with pictures in them, and I could just go through and look through the pictures, and I really appreciate that. Like it's something that you can pass down and that sort of thing. So I really have moved away from taking pictures on my phone a lot. I really take more pictures on a Polaroid situation.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's
really cool. I think you can go either way. Like if you take a lot of pictures on your phone,
you can get them printed.
My problem is I either delete them because it just takes up space, but I try to put it on like Instagram or something so that I get them. So Instagram or Facebook, it's doing the same thing. Granted, now if Instagram goes down or Facebook goes down, I'm kind of screwed.
Pretty much.
I'm pretty much screwed, but I try to at least throw it on there. That way the memories will come up. Kind of even for people who use Snapchat, like you.
Yeah, I mean,
you see all the videos that you put up there and it saves it from like 5-6 years ago. And so you can go through, and if you need to download the app and show, I guess, whoever, it'd be cool. But the downfall is, if those apps go down, your stuff goes down too.
Yeah. Like I even want to get a like camcorder and I want to make at home videos so bad. Like I love it. Like, I don't know. I just like it. I like to have tangible things that I can have. And
you like vintage stuff too?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I really think as I'm getting older and I'm finding more stuff like at my, my mama's house that my grandma left, or like even I remember one day I was in the closet and I found like my mom's prom dress and I was like, oh, this is so like, yeah, I'm really into vintage stuff.
Same.
I am. I really do. I think they had it right. Granted, social media has its perks.
Yeah.
Of course. So not talking down on social media. So next, something that I thought was really important, because I feel like we do this a lot and don't really think about it. So before social media, people did not share their personal information with people they didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, they were not on Facebook or MySpace just talking about their day or
Yep.
posting a location. People love to do that. Drop the pin on the location.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
And I used to do that until I realized how dangerous it is.
Especially with the recent cases of like Instagram having this new update, and I'm not against Instagram or anything. And I saw people pretty much letting others, know that you don't need to have your precise location on,
Yes.
because if you share where you're at, share your location, it can potentially track where you go after that. And that's where it gets really scary. So I feel like maybe setting some boundaries and limits on that is crucial, because you mess around, put your location somewhere, and somebody that's crazy starts following you, tracking you, seeing your habits and all that. Mm-hmm. It's creepy.
I feel like, back then they didn't have that, so people had to stalk you in real life.
Yeah,
they had to really be going out of their way to stalk you, because they can't just go on your Facebook and see, oh, she goes here every Wednesday, oh, he goes there every Thursday. Like, they didn't have, they had to stalk people in real life, which maybe made it harder to go get somebody.
Yeah,
they didn't stop people from kidnapping people and all that stuff, because it was very much still going on.
Yep.
It actually probably made it harder to find those people without certain technology. So
for sure.
It's like social media has made it easier for them to have access to people, but it also has made it easier for, I feel like, law enforcement to, not even law enforcement, because the people really be the ones who find out stuff before they ever, the police be 10 steps behind, honestly. I'm not gonna get into that. But I think it has become easier for people to aid in helping. Like, if somebody's missing, you can put it on social media, like, hey, retweet this, share this. We're looking for this person. And back then you had to put up a flyer, put them on a milk carton or something like that. So it has its ups and downs.
And the power of sharing your location. Like, that is super powerful. If I share my location with you, okay, now if I was missing, roughly where I was at when I went off the grid. Like,
yeah,
that's some powerful technology. So it has its pros.
I think also you have to even be careful with sending someone a picture. So if you send someone a picture, they can click the little I button, the information button, and it'll tell them exactly where you were when you took this picture. Yep. So what you're supposed to do is screenshot the picture and then send it, because then it won't have that location. Apparently people have even got up with sneaking and geeking with that. They'll send a picture and say they're somewhere, but they're really somewhere else. So you just hit
that dumb.
That little information button, and yeah. But again, I do think social media, like I said, has a lot of positive and a lot of negative aspects. Like, a lot of people have made literal careers out of social media, out of being content creators. It gives people more access to information. A lot of people weren't up to date with politics and things, and now people are getting their news directly from social media. Yeah. Whether or not that news is actually accurate, people have access to it. But it's like, the more you see something, you might be inclined to kind of look it up yourself and see,
right, is this actually true? Yeah,
if that information is valid. People, I think, also, especially with TikTok, people have gotten access to a lot of medical advice. Like, I recently saw there was a girl on TikTok who didn't know she had cancer until TikTok told her.
Wow.
They were telling her she needed to get her thyroid levels checked because of whatever she shared, and her doctor was kind of like brushing it off, not really saying anything. And she had people on TikTok were telling her, like, no, you need to advocate for yourself, you need to stand up for yourself. Whole time she had like stage 3, I think it was thyroid cancer.
Wow.
Never would have known that. So
sad.
There's a lot of good information, and there's a lot of bad information out there on the internet. People have access to jobs
Yep.
I think minority people are they're able to help each other a lot more because it's like, hey, I'm in this position.
We're hiring.
We're looking. Yeah. You look like me. I'm gonna try to put you on. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? So it has its good and its bad. All right. So now we're gonna be talking about what did dating look like before social media. This, I think, granted, we met through the power of social media.
Yeah.
But some of these little things, stop emailing me. It's Sunday. I hate that. Anyway. Hey, leave me alone. That is so rude. Send it on Monday at 8:00 like a sane person. So some of these things I think would make dating so much better now if people still did this. Okay. So one of the things is people send love letters.
Yes. I remember, and this is off topic, but I remember like in elementary school and like a little bit of middle school.
Oh, I was doing it in middle school.
Love notes, love letters. The teacher would sometimes catch you, sometimes not. They make you read it in front of the whole class and do all this. I
ain't never get caught doing that.
I didn't either, but some people would have to get up there and be like, do you like me?
Check yes or no.
Check yeah.
Well, people were doing it in middle school and they would do the time, the date, and the song. People would write song like so that you would think about that song in your head as you were reading the letter. Like people really used to do that. And I used to be one of those people that would do that. Right. It was nothing better than getting a love note, like somebody walking down the hall that just give you a note. Oh my God. I remember somebody broke up with me in the note.
That happens too. I done been broke up with.
That's a sad feeling. That'll fuck up your whole day. Yeah. Somebody.
I knew it was coming though.
I mean, yeah.
In my case, I knew it was coming.
Middle school relationships were such Silly. A joke. Like a complete joke.
Yeah.
However, I do think like if someone sent a love letter now, like I remember before we lived together, you would send me cards. Like you sent me a card. It was like,
I think I sent you it once.
You sent me one. You sent me one card, but you had given me more than one.
Yeah. Like
you randomly mailed me a card. I was like, did you just you just sent me a card? And I remember what that felt like. So I feel like if people, I mean, a text message is one thing, but a handwritten note or a card, somebody really took the time to do that.
Right.
And that means a lot. Like, that's why I keep every card someone has given me, it's up on the wall. Especially if it's somebody that, means something to me. I keep it because, you really took the time to write this out, and that means something.
Right.
So I feel like if you send somebody a love letter, you're being real intentional. Now, what those intentions are, I don't know.
It gotta be something kind of serious, because if you're not serious, you're probably not taking the time to do that, unless you're crazy. There could be crazy intentions too.
There are a lot of. Yeah. So I think that's something that's cute and that more people should try to implement.
If that's how the person receives love.
That is also true. That's true. Good point. So next, your parents pretty much always knew who you were dating because you didn't have a cell phone. And people had to call your house phone. And if your parents picked up the phone first, which happened a lot, they would have to say, hey, can I speak to so-and-so? And of course, your parent is going to be like, well, who was this? So they always knew who it was.
Who the boy or girl was. I had an incident where I called somebody. So I guess I lost the number of the young lady. This was in elementary school. But I lost the young girl's number. And I finally figured it out. Somehow I was able to get the number. Well, by this time it was I think 10 or 11 p.m.
Oh, it's too late.
So I called that phone. They said, who is this? I said, James. They said, I was like, can I speak to such and such. They was like, don't call this phone after a certain point. I was so distraught. I was so hurt.
You cannot call nobody phone that late.
I didn't know. I learned that day.
They learned you something good then.
Yeah, so I definitely can see how they know exactly who your daughter or son is talking to.
Oh, absolutely. Boys would call my house. Someone would like, look, I can't talk to boys. Click. And I would have to try to sneak and call them. And this is such a crazy story. But when I was younger, the phone was in my name. That's why my credit was fucked up. But that's another story. The phone was in my name. So when you had caller ID, the person's, whoever name was in the phone bill, that's whose name would come up on the phone.
Okay.
So I remember I was dating some little boy or whatever, and he had done something that really made me mad. I can't remember what it was. I was so young. But I kept calling his house phone. These people, I guess they wasn't home. When I tell you I was on that voice message, like that voicemail going in, like I was going in on these people's house phone.
Right.
Not thinking about the fact his mama is gonna hear this, his daddy is gonna hear this. I didn't care. I just was wailing, like just going in on the phone. Unfortunately, because the phone was in my name, his mama knew my mama. So she knew who I was. And when she seen that it said Lakhia and it had my last name, she called my mama. And I'm talking about, that was the whole situation. But that's just something stupid I used to do. Well, no, I ain't do it after that. But I did on the house phone.
And it wasn't stupid. Just learning.
Calling somebody's phone and cussing them out in middle school and not thinking that your mama is going to find out is stupid.
Not really.
It was stupid.
I wouldn't say that.
It was on brand for the time
like, you're
period.
Not thinking about any of that other stuff.
I just was thinking that he had me messed up because he was dating me and dating some of my friends too.
Good.
So it was a whole thing. So next, before there were playlists, which I love a good curated playlist, so I ain't tripping. But people would dedicate songs to someone by holding their. This is when you have flip phones, but even people were I think doing this before phones. I don't know how they was doing this, but I know for a fact when people had flip phones at Razor, you could just hold it up to the radio and record a song and then send it to somebody else or make it their ringtone.
That was huge.
That was a huge, huge deal.
I don't know what people. That just makes me think. I don't know what people did before there were aux cords. Well, I do.
CDs.
I know what they did.
Cassette
but that had to be so bad.
I my car is older. I really just realized I had a CD player in there the other day. I said, wow. Because, I got these signed CDs and I was like, I got these CDs. I need to have a CD player. I have a whole CD player in my car. I don't even know if it works. I would like to find out. But that's what people would do. Now, I'm going to tell you who never, ever should have got a hold of them phones and holding them up to the radio. Old Christian black people. Old Christian black people. They should have never let them figure out their feature on the house phone or the cell phone. Because when you call them, they don't pick up the phone. Their voicemail is going to be a gospel song playing first. Then they going to cut the volume down and say, praise the Lord. You have reached such and such and such. We cannot come to the phone right now, but please call us back later. They stop talking. The volume of the song come back up.
Well, it's just like, what am I thinking of? Hotel elevator music.
It's just.
That's just their thing.
They wore it out. If nobody beat it till it was dead, it was them.
Yeah.
They was beating it. And I'm gonna tell you what else people used to do. Well, this is not music, but I used to be like, hello? Yeah, girl, what you doing? Just playing. This is my voicemail.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not here. Got you.
That was annoying. That was annoying.
I'm gonna tell you who it used to make so angry. My mama Yo, she would be so pissed. She would be so pissed when she would do that. She would leave me a voice like, you need to change this. Because it would get her every time. She literally would be talking, she would say. And then when it beeped, she would be cussing me out in the voice message.
It's bad, especially if that's how you normally answer the phones. If you're like, hey, just like you would normally do.
I like that she was getting upset because most times when she was calling me and she got that voicemail, she was calling to cuss me out. So I can't imagine me being like, hello. And she, psych, you got my voicemail. That will piss her off even more. That was a good one. That's something, I'm not going to say I missed that because it was on brand for the time period. But that would be really funny to me when people would do that.
Mm-hmm.
But
that reminds me, I decided to bring in a little vintage item.
That is vintage for sure.
Yes, so I don't know if y'all can see on the YouTube channel this iPod, but I think it's like a third generation,
Jesus
or something
Christ.
like that. But this was the stuff. It even has like a little camera.
Does it still work?
8 gigs, and that's what you had mentioned about things still working. And if I put it up, look at most people aren't going to be able to see, but look at the port for it.
Huge.
Yes, a huge port. It had the little, Apple has changed so much of their stuff, but it did have 8 gigs, and where they put the power button and how they have the little, well, Apple doesn't even have center buttons anymore.
But that gave birth to the iPhone.
Yes, once they created this, yeah, this was elite for.
I cannot believe you still have that.
Yeah, so I personally didn't even get this. My brother, he asked for this for like Christmas or something, and we were privileged enough to get some of the things that we wanted, and he ended up getting it, had it, kept it, and within the last like year or 2 or 3, he gave it to me. So I'm gonna keep it because I feel like it's one of those vintage things that, you know, it's not really worth anything, but if I can get it to cut back on,
that would be crazy to see.
Like not the Play Store. That's what Android. I didn't.
The Apple Store.
But the Apple Store, and see if I can download some of the songs or listen to our podcast on it. That would be super dope.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Now I never had an iPod. I had an MP3 player. And I had a CD player.
Same. I had both of those.
The CD players I liked, but it was a headache trying to walk with a CD player because you had to keep it still. Don't let the CD be scratched. And it's, you know what I'm saying? Just outrageous stuff. That's crazy. I had an MP3 player and I used to illegally download music from like, I can't think of it. It was like LimeWire or something like that. I used to be getting the music from all the time. I had all the songs on the MP3 player.
You wanted all the smoke.
I did. So we will transition out of what did dating look like before social media, and we'll have our last 2 standard deletes. And this one is going to be, just think about this. You and your friends, your partners, y'all about to go somewhere. Y'all going to the beach, right? You did not have a cell phone to pull up the directions. This is before the GPS that went in the car. Remember those, because that was before you had directions on the phone.
Right.
And even before that, you had to print the directions off of MapQuest. And then before that, you had to have a whole map to tell you where to go. I would have never made it. I would have never made it. If you can't tell me turn right, turn left, it's not happening.
Yeah.
You talking about take highway 70, 40, 60. I don't even know highways. I just know how to get places. Like, can you imagine? We used to take trips from North Carolina to New York into Connecticut to see our family. They would have to print MapQuest directions to these people's homes.
That was a big thing. MapQuest was up.
Imagine you on a trip and you lose the directions. Now you got to find somewhere to go print the directions off again. Like,
yeah, or you got to know how to read a map.
I don't know how we were getting places with MapQuest. Let me tell you, it would have never happened if I I had to read a map to get somewhere.
You would have made it work.
I barely could get there with GPS.
You would have desired to get there.
That don't mean I would have got there. I feel like a lot of people desire to do a lot of shit, but that don't mean they're able to do it. So just because I have a desire to do it does not mean it would have happened.
That's true.
So shout out to my mama, my grandma, and my uncles, everybody who was driving us places using. I remember my uncle. I ain't gonna say his name. I ain't gonna say his name. But can you bleep that? I don't want to say his name. I don't think he cares, but just in case he does care, I don't want to say his name. But one of my uncles, he took me to Disney World when I was younger, and I also think this was before the GPS in the car was a thing, and he had to map quest the directions to Orlando, Florida from North Carolina, and he did it.
Yeah.
But he's also a truck driver, so maybe it was a little bit different. But I'm just in awe of the fact that people were doing cross-country trips with a piece of paper.
Yeah.
But at least with MapQuest, it would say turn right, turn left. You got a real map. You just following.
I think I would rather have the map only because on the like the MapQuest, if you miss a turn, all the other all the other directions aren't helpful. Like,
the map don't tell you to turn no way. It say hop on 40. What is that?
Yeah,
75, 80, 90.
If you're driving in that vicinity, you're always going to see like a sign that says like highway, whatever, turn here, or highway. Like for the popular highways, now they have those to where you can see like for whatever big interstate that you're going to be on, a sign is there and it shows you approximately where you need to be.
But that's if you on a highway. What about if you're going to your cousin house that live across the state? The map can get you.
It can get you close enough to where.
Now you're relying on their direction. Now you're gonna turn right at the church, turn left at the corner stuff. It's too much for me. I can't. My brain would not allow me to do
that. Desire though, I'm telling you.
That desire doesn't always win though. People desire to do a lot of stuff.
But I'm telling you,
I desire to work out every day. I don't.
Well, that's
I desire
something there's a miscommunication somewhere.
That desire don't win. That's it. Desire does not win all the time.
It can.
I desire to work out every day. Don't happen.
Okay.
No, I that's not my true desire. Please, I don't need you to hold me accountable. That is not my true desire. It's not my true desire. Okay, if it's something I really desire to do, I would do it. But I still even think if that was my true desire, I would not be able to do it.
Like, I'm just trying to think traveling per se. If you wanted to go out the country.
Well, you can't go out the country driving unless you're going to Mexico.
And this is theoretical.
Well, I just don't think that's a good theoretical because the only place you can go is to Mexico if you're driving.
If you wanted to go to Tulum or wherever.
I don't know.
And you really wanted to go there and planes were shut down.
I won't go. I wouldn't go. I would not go. I saw a tweet from Steve Harvey not too long ago that said something about to be successful, you got to know your strengths and you got to know your weaknesses. I know my weakness, and it is not reading reading the map and math. It's a done deal. I ain't got it, and that's okay. That's okay with me. Okay.
I think you would get it if needed be.
I got lost in Charlotte using Apple Maps.
That's why you don't.
I took a tour of Charlotte. I was in my car crying. I could barely follow a GPS. I can't follow no map.
You could have.
Anyway, y'all, I'm a realist. I'm real with me. I know about me and what I can and I can't do. Yeah, but that desire don't always win. I'ma just say that. So this last send or delete, it's not, well, it kind of is something before social media, but people even do this now. Like, I love to play Uno because I cannot play spades. I am not a full adult. We have been both taught to play spades on more than one occasion and played, and I don't remember a thing.
Forgot all the details.
All I remember is the puppy toes, puppy toes, whatever.
Yeah, and that's
it. That's all I remember. I don't remember anything else. So I'm very much at the cookout function, let's play Uno type of person because I can't do spades, and that's okay. So I saw on Twitter that Lizzo asked the Real Uno Game Twitter account, if you put down a draw two, can the person who had to draw two put down a draw two card and make the next person draw four? Uno said, the rumors are true. You cannot officially stack a draw two on a draw two.
I feel like
Uno, I almost said something, but I'm gonna keep it cute. You're not gonna tell me, and I'm gonna put a draw two on a draw two and a draw four on a draw four, and we're gonna keep it going because I've made somebody draw 12 cards before. So
yeah, the way that people play that stacking game is,
I'm a stack. I ain't playing if we ain't stacking. It's no fun.
I feel like people create their own rules when it comes to that.
Well, that's why when you play Uno, people are like, "How we playing?" Mm-hmm. Like people are always like, "How are we playing?" Because not everybody's stacking. You ain't stacking. I ain't playing because I'm finna stack.
I can see that. Also, I was doing some research and I saw something about Uno that I didn't know, and I figured that I'd share with everyone.
Okay.
So this is like most people, when you think of how you win Uno, how would a person win in Uno?
They don't got no more cards.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought too.
Oh.
But here's what like the official rule says how you win Uno. So how you actually win Uno is the first person to score 500 points wins.
Points?
Yes, they have a point system.
Oh no.
So it's basically your job to get rid of all of your cards. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the game, you need to see how many. How you get 500 points is determined by the people that still have cards left in their hands, which is crazy.
That sounds too much like spades.
So if you had, let's say you had a 2 left, a skip left, and a draw 4 left. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give you the point system.
Oh lordy.
So all cards with numbers, like let's say you had a 2, mm-hmm. that gives me 2 points.
Okay.
If you have a draw 2, that gives me 20 points. If you have a reverse, that's 20. You have a skip, that's 20. If you have a wild card, that's 50. If you have a wild draw 4, that's 50 points as well. Mm-hmm. So let's say you had those, so I would add up your total.
Okay.
And then whoever else is in that game. And so all those points will have to add up to 500 before I actually win. If that's not the case, then we have to run another game. You see what I'm saying?
That's too much. That sounds like phase 2. Thank you.
Yeah.
Lord, that
phase 12.
I was screaming. I've only ever played phase 10 one time, so please give me some grace. Uno has lost their mind with the point system. I have never seen anybody. First of all, if I go play Uno with somebody and they start talking about points, I don't want to play. That's too much. Uno is supposed to be fun.
Right.
I'm not counting. That's why I don't like playing phase 10. It's too much. Like, just stop. Just play the cards. Just please. That's why I don't like spades. It's too much work.
Right. It's
not fun.
It's addition, subtraction, math, and all that.
It's not. And the sad part is, my grandma and my mama are like spades champs. Like, can bust down.
Mm-hmm.
What grandma could, my mama can. And I ain't got it. And my mama don't have the patience to teach me either. So I'm gonna just be pulling up with Uno. Y'all want to play Uno? Because I can't sit at the grown folks table and play spades.
Like that big spades.
All right, so we are wrapping this episode up with our Help Center segment. If this is your first time listening to Help Centers, where we just kind of give some advice or final thoughts on a topic. Mm-hmm. So I feel like this has been a really interesting episode. Learned a lot about what things used to look like, what they look like now, what we wish they looked like. And I think the only thing I would leave for this episode is for people to look for things that are fun and engaging and hobbies that are not centered around social media or electronics.
Yep.
Maybe just social media, because I was going to say people one of the things you could do is read, but some people listen to audiobooks. Some people have a Kindle where they read the book up there. So I'm not really going to say that, but it's still not related to social media.
Right.
So I would just say reading, or even painting, or cooking, or going to the park, yoga, doing something that is not tied to the socials, and it's not tied to trying to package and present yourself to people that you, one, don't really know in real life, or don't talk to in real life anymore, or don't know that well, presenting this polished version of yourself for them. I think it's fun to do things outside of that. I enjoy doing things outside of that because social media drains me a little bit. That's why I don't say I'm a full food content creator, because I don't have the patience. And also, social media is down a lot. Instagram and Twitter will be down quite often. And if you don't have nothing to do but sit and scroll on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, which I'm so guilty of scrolling on TikTok, I think that you should also make sure that you have something that you like to do outside of those things. Give yourself a break from screen time. If you're wondering why your head hurt all the time, then maybe you got too much screen time. You wonder why you can't sleep. Maybe you look at the screen time too much. That's just me. So that's the only piece of advice I think I would leave for this episode.
And I got something that kind of ties in with that. Yesterday, me and you joked about it. I hadn't been on my phone too much yesterday, but you took a shower, took like a 20 or 30 minute shower.
I was in there for a minute.
And you walked away, and I was sitting on my phone on social media.
Standing.
Did I say sitting?
You say sitting.
Yeah.
But I need the people to understand that you were standing.
Yes. I was standing on my on social media, and I didn't move for that whole 20 or 30 minutes, just scrolling on social media. So I am working on it myself. Granted, I would call myself a content creator.
Very much so.
I post a lot of content, so I do need to be on social media sometimes. But if there's something that you're wanting to do, or there's like you want to achieve, or there's something that it could be as simple as you want to exercise a little bit more, or you want to get fit a little bit more, or you want to, I don't know, do a hobby, like start skating, whatever it could be. Track and start looking at how much time you're spending on social media, and you will notice for a ton of people, if you cut out social media, or just cut the amount of time that you're on social media in half, use a screen time app or whatever it is, just to be able to see how long you're being on those apps, you'll find that you have a lot of extra time in the day. Yes. So I would say just use that time wisely, and there's something that you want to do, cut social media out for a little while. It probably will keep you from being drained, or it will cause you to relieve probably some stress and some anxiety too.
Definitely.
So that would be my 2 cents.
I think that's a good piece. I think it's a really good piece. All right. Well, I will say this. So for those of you who do not follow us on Instagram or Twitter or TikTok, please be sure to follow us at Message24Pod on all of the socials. We have a podcast live show coming up soon. It will be a Message 24 podcast live show. And we are partnering with Moment to bring you all this. It's going to be a super engaging, really, really fun night. We're looking forward to it. And we would like to hear your ideas. Like, what do you want to talk about? What questions do you have? What close friends would you like to see? Would you like to see some close friends come back? That sort of thing. So please feel free to leave a comment on our YouTube or Instagram. You can DM us. You can message us. You can email us at message24pod@gmail.com. And we'll have more updates very, very soon.
Yeah, and I just want to say, I want to take a second to show some gratitude first and foremost, because, we started this thing what, 4, 5, 6 months ago?
6 months.
6 months ago.
We launched 6 months ago.
Yeah,
planning started way before that.
We were planning, and then we launched this thing 6 months ago. And at that time, we knew that we wanted to receive some opportunities. We knew that we would need listeners such as you all for this to even be a thing. So first of all, appreciative for our listeners.
Yes, of course.
And helping us to reach and reach pretty much more people by sharing and showing love and giving us ratings and messaging us and giving us ideas. And then secondly, we really prayed for opportunities. And I think
we do.
Now this is a huge opportunity. I want people that's listening to understand that this partnership with Moment is going to be big, and it's a really big opportunity. So I'm very appreciative, very thankful, and just excited. So.
And I also think this should be a reminder to, if you want to do something, do it. You don't have to be the best at first. We were not good. We're still growing. I'm not saying we are nowhere near where I know we have the potential to go as individuals and with this podcast. When we started, our videos didn't look like this. We didn't have a podcast studio. Right. Everything has elevated and everything has grown because it's something that we really, really want to do. And it doesn't have to be podcasting. If there's anything that you want to do, don't give up. It doesn't matter how many people support you. We didn't have a lot of supporters in the beginning. And then when we got them, a lot of them fell off and then they picked back up. It's just one of those things. If you really want to do something, you have to keep pushing and you have to keep going because you never know who's watching. We didn't know they even knew we existed. You know what I'm saying? And we're really, really grateful for the opportunity. And, you know, if I tell these people all the time, if I can do something, you definitely can do it.
Right.
So that's all I got. That's my last.
That's
my last bit.
The last little bit is, I don't think you should.
We sound like the preachers in the pulpit.
One
more. Then I'm gonna let y'all go.
What was I gonna say? I don't think that you should allow the support, like you were saying, to dictate how you move.
Yep.
Because if we don't have, I think either way for us, if we don't have the support, I think that would bother us a little bit, just maybe mentally. But at the same time, I think we would still continue to push forward. It's not going to be one of those things where we're like, oh, we don't have all the resources. We don't have all the people. We don't have, we're not popping. Like, we would still keep pressing forward. So
and that's what we're doing.
For anyone who's a little hesitant of thinking what other people are going to be thinking of them, the quality doesn't seem there. They don't have the perfect mics. They don't have a nice $200-$300 sign. That does not matter. Just go. Just start.
Just do it.
Literally start.
Like, not everybody that is big started out big. Like, you gotta start somewhere.
It's all mental.
So just start.
It's all mental.
Just do it. All right. Well, it is Wednesday. The work week, you're halfway there. It's almost Friday. So hang in there and we will see you all right here next Wednesday.
Bye-bye.
I was going to say it for you.
Bye-bye. Have a beautiful time.
Bye, y'all.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Message 24 podcast.
If you enjoyed this episode and want to see our faces, be sure to head over to the Message 24 Pod YouTube channel and subscribe. And you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. See you next week.